Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A man is sentenced in connection to a road rage shooting that killed 3-year-old C.J. Miller, who was strapped in a car seat in his godmother's car. That story tops our news here at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. 3-year-old C.J. Miller was strapped in a car seat in that car when he was shot and killed. Prosecutors say that the deadly shooting stemmed from road rage. Well, today that shooter was sentenced. Local 4's Priya Mann joins us now live this afternoon. And Priya, what did the judge hand down?
Evrod, this just happened moments ago. Derrick Durham was sentenced to 70 to 100 years in prison, convicted of second-degree murder. The toddler's mother wept as the judge handed down that sentence. Take a look. Christian Miller's was 3 years old. He was in the car seat in the back of his grandmother's SUV when he was shot and killed. The Freeway shooting happened in January 2019. The family was on their way to see Sesame Street live at the Fox Theater when Christian was killed. Michigan State Police say Derrick Durham fired at the vehicle on Southfield Freeway after the victim's godmother allegedly cut him off. When the woman heard glass shattering, prosecutors say she got off the freeway, pulled into a gas station, and called 911. Christian was rushed to Children's Hospital and died the next morning. Take a listen to what the judge and the victim's mom had to say.
God didn't take him away from me. You did. You took him away from me. So now I have to move on like ain't nothing happened? It's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to his sister and brother, and it's not fair to his family.
This is an egregious case. No one driving down the freeway, whether you cut someone off or not, should have a shot fired at their car. And his life was taken from him that day, and from his mother and from his family.
And this was actually the third time this case was tried here at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. The first time it ended in a hung jury. The second time there was jury misconduct. Now Derrick Durham was convicted of second-degree murder. His mother did start her victim impact statement by showing videos of her son. He was playing, crawling around, watching a small screen. She said he loved Sesame Street and that her life will never be the same. We will have much more from the sentencing tonight at 5 o'clock. In downtown Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya, thank you for the update there. President Biden is delivering remarks on inflation, and it comes as his administration looks to further address one of the key economic concerns for voters heading into November's midterm elections. A White House official says the president will detail his plan to fight inflation and lower costs for working families. But we do want to give you a live look right now at the big board. As you can see here, stocks dipping again for a fourth day as the major averages struggle to recover from 3 days of heavy selling that brought the S&P 500 to its lowest level in more than a year. We're going to keep our eyes on the market for you and continue to keep you updated on later editions of Local 4 News. In the meantime, we got to talk gas prices because they have hit a new all-time high here in Michigan. And right now, it's showing no signs of letting up. The state average is $4.35 per gallon. Here in Metro Detroit, we're averaging about $4.36 a gallon. And as we head into the summer, a lot of people are expected to take trips up north. Prices, unfortunately, are expected to stay high. This just in, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that removing reproductive rights for women would have a negative impact on the economy here in our country. In the meantime, more than a week after the stunning leak of Supreme Court abortion case opinion, protests are growing more passionate and personal. And now Congress is moving to provide more security measures for the justices' families as Democrats scramble to keep the procedure legal. Chris Pallone has this report.
With the Supreme Court poised to issue its final ruling in this case, both sides of the abortion debate are preparing for an era when Roe is no longer the law of the land.
The courts and the legislature.
In Alexandria, Virginia, abortion rights activists once again protested at the home of a Supreme Court justice, this time Samuel Alito's. He wrote the leaked opinion which appears poised to overturn Roe v. Wade. On Capitol Hill, Republicans condemned the demonstrations.
It is an attempt to replace the rule of law with the rule of mobs.
Democrats are trying to make permanent the protections granted by the Roe decision with a federal law. A Senate vote is planned for tomorrow. It's doomed to fail, but will reveal every member's stance on abortion rights ahead of the midterm elections.
No more running, no more hiding. The vote will shine light on every single one of us.
The battle over abortion is being fought from the U.S. Capitol to state capitals. This year, 8 states have enacted measures protecting abortion rights, while at least 10 states have passed changes which would increase abortion restrictions or ban it altogether. Despite recent polls showing the majority of Americans don't want Roe overturned, Republicans accuse Democrats of being out of step.
The radicals are running the show.
All this bill does is protect a right, a constitutional right that women in this country had for almost 50 years. It's hardly what I call radical.
Battle lines being drawn before the High Court reveals its final decision next month. As the abortion debate becomes more contentious, the Senate has now passed a bill that would provide security protection for the immediate family members of Supreme Court justices. The bill now moves to the House. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
All right, Chris, thank you. Not long ago, we got a chance to catch up with Michigan Senator Gary Peters. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Well, certainly it is up to Congress to act, and a majority of the American people believe that Roe versus Wade should not be overturned. But these are rights that are enshrined through court precedent over 50 years. If this indeed occurs, this is a significant departure from precedent of over 50 years of a right that women have to fundamental freedom. The Supreme Court isn't usually one to take away rights, but in this case, it may very well take away rights and impact reproductive freedom for women.
And as of now, the leaked opinion from the court would allow states to implement their own abortion bans, but it would not ban abortion on the national level. However, Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said a nationwide ban on abortions is possible if legislators vote to make it a federal law. Of course, we'll be watching everything as it develops and have it for you here on Local 4 and on clickondetroit.com. So healthcare officials are urging people to be mindful as COVID-19 cases continue to rise here in Michigan. Henry Ford Health reports an average positivity rate of 15% over the past 5 days, along with climbing hospitalization rates. Doctors believe the BA.2.12 subvariant of Omicron is responsible. They also say 2 new Omicron subvariants, BA.4 and BA.5, have also been detected in the U.S. and could cause another surge. In the meantime, the Biden administration says it's bracing for a potential COVID surge this fall and winter. They say as many as 100 million people could be infected. Children younger than the age of 5 could soon be eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA says that the authorization could come before the target of late June. A spokesperson says the process has taken longer than some expected because it's a, quote, complex submission. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, only about 35% of children ages 5 to 11 who are eligible have gotten vaccinated. Well, we want to turn our attention now to the forecast on your Tuesday afternoon as we give you a live look outside through our sky cam. And meteorologist Brandon Rue is standing by with a look at what we can expect for today.
Yes, and we are looking at temperatures out there that are currently in the 60s and 70s, just a little bit cooler here on the east side. We were battling it out with the clouds for a little while. We've got another battle with the clouds coming up. Your full forecast just ahead.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Still to come here at noon. The war in Ukraine continues, and a specific type of Russian attack might impact the global food supply. We've got the warning from the Ukrainian president after the break.